Hello there in YouTube land. G'day, it's Dale from Down Under. And Dale and Nisha's Road to Thailand, obviously is the channel. And after doing my first video as an introduction, I guess there's a stack of things I obviously want to talk about in each video, and not sure which order to put them in, and the planning side of it, which is always not easy. So I thought sometimes just off the cuff, maybe just to start with in the world of YouTube, just talk about certain topics and don't get too serious about things maybe, and just go through things as they come to your head, you know, things that you want to talk about. So today I just wanted to discuss divorce. Divorce is something obviously I've been through, and I guess a lot of people out there can relate to divorce. We all do, and a lot of us have been through some pretty horrid divorces, some not so bad, a bit of a mixture, I guess. But one thing I can say is the divorce to me at the time was probably the worst thing that ever happened. It was heartbreaking, it was emotional, it wasn't a toxic one like most people have. So I've been blessed that it was no cheating, no nothing, just simple amicable situation where after 20 years and having 3 children, things just panned out in a way where we just drifted our own way, and it came to an end. But in saying that, I found myself single, and what I wanted to talk about today was staying single after divorce for a period of time, you know. And what I mean by that is stay single, not that we're born to ever want to be living alone, but the main reason a lot of guys go wrong in this world is they're in relationship, like myself, married for a period of time, whether it's a short period of time or a long period of time. They're in a relationship from the minute they become 18. They're used to having girlfriends, and then it progresses to eventually finding that right woman and getting married. And then after being married, they're lost. They don't know how to cook for themselves, they don't know how to clean, they don't know how to pay bills, they don't know how to do so many things that they let the wife do while they're actually at work making money or running a business. And so they don't really know how to look after themselves. They've had a woman behind them to do that. Also, there's the touch, the feel, the emotional, there's the sex, there's everything that you get from that partner. And when they're not with you anymore and you don't have that partner, you're lost. And you basically feel like you're half a person. You don't know what to do, you don't know how to think, your brain's not working, you miss that touch and feel from that woman or a woman. So you find yourself all of a sudden thinking dumb and thinking, I need to be in a relationship again as soon as possible because I need to fill that void and get that gap that's missing. I need to fill that gap and get that back into my life. And that is where everyone goes wrong, because you've just finished a relationship after how many periods of years or whatever it is. You've been with that person for a long time, and now you're alone. But now you're desperately wanting someone to inject some happiness back in you because you're lonely and miserable. So you think you can't live without a woman. And now all of a sudden you make this ridiculous, horrible mistake, as a lot of men do, straight in a relationship again. Bang! No messing around. At the end of the day, what happens is you find yourself in a relationship again. And sometimes that relationship starts off fantastic with a bit of a one-night stand, or you met someone at work or whatever it is, and you're basically using that girl as a bit of a rebound, and you're also finding yourself wanting to make this relationship work because you don't want to be lonely, you know, and this person can maybe give you some things that you don't have, like that person might cook for you or clean for you or do something for you to help fill those tasks that the ex used to do for you. That's the problem. So now all of a sudden you find this relationship flowing along lovely. It's all romantic to start with, you know, and it's all like a bit of a honeymoon period. And then all of a sudden the warts start to show, and you realise, oh, here we go again. And the same traits that you probably had in your last relationship with your ex are coming out again with this new person, and this new person you met, all of a sudden you're starting to see things about her that she didn't expose to you when you first met her, because obviously she's playing her cards right, just the same way you are. Everyone's got this little charade they're playing to impress one another. But all of a sudden now you start realizing that it's not what it was cracked up to be, but you're stuck. You feel stuck now, you know, and you either stay in that relationship or you end up ending it after weeks, months or whatever, realizing that you just made a mistake. And then what happens? Bang, again, you're out on the dating scene, or you go out somewhere, you find someone and you do the same thing again. And this is a rinse and repeat thing, and this keeps going round and round and round. And I know so many guys that do the same thing and get married a second time within like a year or two, and then a third time after a decade, and losing their houses, their finances. They go through all that sort of, you know, all the breakup side of it, financial, the emotional. I just think to myself, why would you do it, you know? But it's an addiction. It's an addiction to basically not being able to live alone, and you don't like yourself enough to be able to live alone. And I also became that same sort of person when I broke up with my ex too, so don't worry about it. I'm just as guilty. But what I learned from and what I'm lucky enough to have done from my breakup was I stayed single for around 9 years before I met my new Thai wife now, obviously 9 years later. But I spent a lot of time on my own, living as a single dad, you know, man on my own, and I basically enjoyed just rebuilding myself again, learning to love myself, and that's a topic that I'd like to get into a little later. But learning to love yourself means that you love yourself enough not to want to be able to jump in to be in a relationship with someone because you don't respect yourself enough and you don't love yourself. And so what you do, you give yourself to that person who's not worthy of you, and also you're not ready for that person. So even if you were to meet the right person just by luck, you're not ready yet, because you've still got healing to do. You've still got things that you've got to work on, you know, because you don't want to take the habits and the things that your ex didn't like about you and the reason that you basically broke up. And obviously we also have to take responsibility at times that, yes, the ex has got things about her also that also are not great, but there's a lot of things also about you that you need to look inside and admit to yourself that there are things that you don't like, even you don't like about yourself. And I was able to do that. I was able to look at myself genuinely and say, Dale, I don't even like myself at times with some of the ways that I respond in a relationship and the way I react and treat my partner. I don't even like that about myself, and I don't even know why I do it. So, you know, to me, I want to go away and work on those things, because when I find that Mrs. Right again, I don't want to carry those same bad habits into the next relationship, because I want that next one to be the last relationship, not just the next one, you know. So please, guys, spend some time, have a time out in your life. It's the only time as a person you're no longer a parent anymore. You might be alone without any children like I was. So you've got all this extra time that you never had beforehand when you were living in the household to work on yourself. And this is the most magical time in your life that you get to have, that you'll never get again once you're in a relationship. Once you're in a relationship, you don't have any time again now, because now you've got to give your time to that other person, and you need to invest yourself into that relationship. And that's fair enough, because that's what you should do. So that's what I did. I spent the 9-year period learning a lot about myself, learning to iron, cook, clean, pay bills, housework, everything. Fix everything on my own. So in the future, when I do meet that next person and it may not work out, I don't need that person to fill any gap for me that I couldn't do for myself, if you know what I mean. So I put myself in a situation where I'm now bomb-proof. I don't have to stay in that next relationship now because I need that person. I want them, but I don't need them. And that's where you want to be. Because when you need them, that is a disaster. Now they've got you where they want you, and you are no longer the strong one now anymore that you were when you were single. So I did that, and also my whole journey is also about transforming myself from a dad who had neglected his body, I guess my health, because I was so invested in running a business, providing for the family, and putting myself last while all the kids go through that period of school and sport. Now I find myself divorced, single on the scrap heap, depressed, you name it, sad, financially broke. But I all of a sudden found I found my mojo again by discovering the gym. And the gym is basically something that changed my whole life. And I would say that is the one key thing that has turned my life around. And it's helped me in many ways. It's helped me to have a great physical body, but it's made me healthy. I don't smoke. I drink randomly just when I feel like on occasions, but not alone. I exercise and gym. At my peak, I was going 5 days, 7 days a week to fill that void. Now I have a relationship now again, 9 years later. I find that balance, and I blend the gym with looking after the household and spending time with my wife and children and so forth. And that's, I'm happy with that now. But that 9 years gave me a chance to get to the gym, put myself in a surrounding where I was around positive people. The gym is the best place to go when you want to feel, active and your blood's pumping and the adrenaline's going. And when you start to do it after a few months, you start to see change in your body. I started to eat better food, broccoli, cauliflower, rice, avocados. I got stuck into the dietary side as well, and that gave me the extra boost. I was around people every day that when I got to the gym, I felt happy. I felt like I was with a new family that sort of had this love for me and had an understanding of what I'm going through. It was a place where so many people at that gym are similar to me. They've come from problems and issues, and that's what brought them to the gym. It could be they were obese, they were unhealthy, or mentally they were struggling, or they had an illness, or it was a broken relationship like mine where you're just heartbroken and you need to rebuild your self-esteem. Greatest thing you can do is go to the gym, guys. But anyway, I have a lot more to talk about, but that was just my today's video, just a quick one on a little bit more about myself. And as I said, I'll ad-lib each video as we go. I'm not sure what pecking order I'm going to produce content, but hopefully today's video, it hit the spot a little bit. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.